Hi, it's Stephanie and Lucy, because she's being noisy and so whiny right now. Yeah, I said it. So today I'm here with my Bookmas Readathon Wrap Up. So Haley from Haley and Bookland hosted a Bookmas Readathon from midnight on December 14th to 11:59 p.m. on December 15th. And the goal was just to read as many books as possible, probably Christmas themed, but I didn't do that because I already participated in 2 Christmas themed readathons. So, didn't want holiday spirit overload. So, anyway, I read quite a bit. I extended it instead of doing one day with just 24 hours of reading because I'm 80 years old. I needed to sleep. So I started around 8 p.m. on Friday, December 14th, and ended around 10 p.m. on Sunday the 16th. And I read quite a lot of pages. So at the end of the video, somewhere down below, I will tally up my pages and we'll see how many I read over the weekend. First book I have is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is the 6th book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I'm not going to really talk about the plot because I don't want to give anything away to those of you who haven't read the series yet. I will say my one hang up on this book is that there is so much going on, like hecka amount going on. And it doesn't really seem to lead anywhere. It's just almost like a cycle. It's not progressing, and it's not progressing the plot at all. And I got about 300 pages in, and I started getting a little frustrated because, lots of action, but, where's this going? However, the last 200 pages were insane. And it was so good and so worth it. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Totally cried at the end because she wrapped it up in such a wonderful way. Her characters really grew in this book, especially Simon and Jace grew a lot. And also Clary. She didn't get on my nerves at all in this book. And normally she gets on my nerves a little, even though I do really like her as a character. So I really like this, 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely go check out the Mortal Instruments series. The next book I read was Words on Bathroom Walls by Julia Walton. This follows a teenage boy named Adam, and he is schizophrenic. And Adam is put in an experimental drug trial to see if that helps his schizophrenia and his hallucinations. He has some really interesting hallucinations. One of them is a naked guy named Jason. There's also a girl, Rebecca, who doesn't talk, but she does tend to start appearing when things are about to happen. He also hallucinates about a mob boss and his mobsters, and it's really funny. But Adam starts school at a Catholic school, and he's not really fitting in, and he's a little paranoid anyway because he's just starting this medicine, so he's not sure how it's really going to affect him. And he meets this girl named Maya, and they develop a friendship, and he doesn't tell her about him because he doesn't know how she'll take it, and he wants to make sure she's real, and just hilarity ensues. I also really enjoyed the family dynamics in this novel. His mom and his stepdad are really supportive, and they fight for him and just want what's best for him. And he has such a good relationship with his parents, and that was really nice to see, especially in a novel about mental health. I think a lot of times you read about families who aren't really supportive, or they don't understand, or don't try to understand. And his mom seems to have tried to make herself an expert so that she can really help her son in any way that he needs. And the stepdad is also stepping up and, taking more of an active role and just being there and being supportive. And I really enjoyed this novel. I laughed so hard in a lot of parts. It's really raw in some parts. It really hit close to home in some parts. And I thought this book was so necessary. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it to anyone. Just go check it out because it's awesome. Next book I read was books 2 and 3 in the Full Metal Alchemist series. I really liked this. This is my first manga. I read volume 1 maybe earlier this week, early last week, and really liked it. It took a while to get used to reading right to left instead of left to right, so that was interesting. But I just really got drawn into the story, and Hiromu Arakawa, which I'm sure I butchered that, she is an amazing storyteller, an incredible artist, and this book just sucks you in. So this is a 3-in-1 volume. It's got volumes 1, 2, and 3, and I read 2 and 3. So it follows the story of Edward and Alphonse Elric. They are alchemists. When they were younger, their mother died, and they tried an alchemical experiment to try to bring her back from the dead, and ultimately it failed with some rather drastic consequences. So as a result of this, they left their home, left everything they knew, and have been in search of the Philosopher's Stone, which they believe will help restore the things that they broke and the horrible consequences that were a result of their alchemical experience. There's also a lot of crazy characters, a lot of political stuff going on in this world. The world building in this book is really good. I didn't feel lost at all. I know sometimes you can just get shoved into the world and you have to try to catch up as you're reading the story. But this was just really easy to get into. It was a really fast read because it was a manga. But overall, I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I already bought the next 3 3-in-1 volumes because it ended on a huge cliffhanger, and I need to know what happens. I need to know. The next book I read was volume 3 in the Saga series. I got this book from my library, so this is book 1, which has volumes 1, 2, and 3 in it. This follows the story of Hazel, and she is a product of star-crossed lovers, and they live in a world that is at war. There's a lot of fighting going on. Her parents are technically 2 different species, for lack of a better word, 2 different kinds of people, and they get together, they fall in love, they have a kid, and Hazel is not supposed to exist. So there's just mercenaries after her, the government's after them. They want to kill this kid because she's not supposed to live. So this follows Hazel and her parents across galaxies to different planets. There's an insane amount of awesome characters. I just really loved this graphic novel. This is probably my favorite graphic novel to date. I really enjoyed it. And the artwork is just gorgeous. Like, it just really draws you in. I keep opening. There we go. Really draws you in. It is not really suitable for younger kids, just an FYI. You know, as you can see on the cover. But I really like this. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm going to jump straight into volume 4 because it did end on another huge cliffhanger and I need to know what happens. But this was just such a captivating story, and the characters were so wonderful, and the writing is excellent, and the art is excellent, and I just can't recommend it enough. I also read about 200 pages of Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. I'm not going to tell you the synopsis of this book because the first line of the synopsis spoils City of Heavenly Fire. And I'm really glad that I didn't read that before I finished City of Heavenly Fire, or I would have been really pissed. But this has about 10 novellas in it, and it follows characters at the Shadowhunter Academy after the events in City of Heavenly Fire. We get a lot of our favorite characters that come and do guest lectures. They help teach. They just make appearances. So we get to see Tessa Gray and Jace Herondale and Izzy and Clary and a lot of our favorite characters. So I'm really enjoying this. I think I'm on the third story, and it's just been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed seeing the characters, especially Tessa Gray. The Infernal Devices are my favorite Cassandra Clare books right now. I loved the Mortal Instruments, but the Infernal Devices just really resonated with me, and I just love the characters. But I really like this way more than I thought I would. Usually with novellas, I don't like them as much as the novels, but these are really well written. I'm really excited to finish this so that I can jump into the Dark Artifices. Last but not least, I read about 150 pages of Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This story follows 18-year-old Sawyer Taft, who is an auto mechanic, and she's working on her GED. One day, her grandmother shows up, who she's never met before, didn't know anything about, and she offers her $500,000 if she will come and live with her for 9 months and become a debutante and be presented to society. Another in the contract is that Sawyer can find out who her biological father is. Sawyer's mom, while you can tell that they really have a love for each other, her mom isn't really the most responsible parent. She's really guy crazy, and she'll just leave town for a couple days if she meets a guy that she likes, leaving Sawyer to just be an adult and on her own. This book has been said to be like Gilmore Girls meets Pretty Little Liars. I can definitely see the Gilmore Girls, even though the mom isn't as good as Lorelai Gilmore. They do have a lot of that same banter, and you can tell they're really close. And also the grandmother reminds me of Emily Gilmore. Like, she's got the same attitude and the same just etiquette and airs and everything, but they're from the South. And the Pretty Little Liars part, like, the storyline's kind of crazy. It goes between present day and then the 9 months before leading up to the present day. So it's like you get to the big point, but it's a mystery because you don't really know why this is happening, and then you kind of go back and see events that led up to it, and you're just piecing everything together as you go. Since the readathon, I've read another 100 pages or so, and I really love this book so far. It's not the greatest writing in the world, but the story is so entertaining, and I'm listening to it mostly on audiobook. And the narrator has that really rich, authentic, wealthy Southern accent, kind of like in Steel Magnolia. But I really like it. It's really entertaining. I'm looking forward to finishing it, and I think I'm really going to like the ending, I hope. We'll see. I read quite a bit. I read the last 500 pages of City of Heavenly Fire. Words on Bathroom Walls was 288 pages. Volumes 2 and 3 of Full Metal Alchemist totaled 303 pages. I read 200 pages of Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. I read 150 pages of Little White Lies. And then Saga Volume 3 was 144 pages. Total this weekend, I read 1,585 pages. So overall, I'm really proud of the amount that I read, especially because I didn't read for a straight, 48 hours. I did a lot of other stuff. So that was really good for my to be read Goodreads challenge. But that was my Bookmas Readathon wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content on my channel, please hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you click the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. See you guys next time!